my videos. It's not that many, but I hope like I reach out to, especially this is who I want to reach out to. Um People who have survived victims of they call it factitious disorder now, but it was called Munchausen by proxy. So I always wondered, like, after I realized that it happened to me, I watched a lot of like Lifetime well, they don't have a lot of movies actually, and the ones that they do have, they didn't turn out very good. And I'm sorry about that. Like true sorry for that, because um you should always try and make the best of it. Don't let it make you hate and try and do something back to the people that hurt you, because that makes you exactly like them. Not exactly like them, but it's better just to walk away and just start your new healthy life. But so today I went after work, I went to the 7-Eleven and I got a pizza. It's in my room. Well, it's wrapped up in the microwave, like 4 pieces, and I feel really good. But I'm in the 7-Eleven and this girl walks in and like she sneezes 5 times. And then she's standing right behind me and I'm like, no, 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 no. So I like move up kind of beside the other person, but it was almost like one of those fake sneezes. But still, don't do that. So, but other than that, I got my pizza and I came back to the hotel, and I found out a little bit more about this town. I did a little like I did one of my little survey things where I just ask random strangers about stuff, and then I don't necessarily believe random strangers, but sometimes I do. So so I randomly am like, yeah, I moved to Mesquite, and I noticed that like there's hardly no white people. And I just was under the assumption that like, cuz I was in minimum wage job like places, and all of the upper higher paying people were white. So I just automatically assumed that like all the rich people here are white and that everybody else is poor. And like I was kind of hoping for like, I love being in multicultural. Like I love everyone from every race. I don't pick apart anyone, because I don't be like, I don't like you because you're such and such. I've never done that. So I was like, yeah, I noticed that everyone was like a like black or Mexican. And I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, yeah, well, a long time, well, not, he didn't say a long time ago, but he was like, a while ago there was a lot of like white people here, and like um the um black people and the Mexican came in and moved in, and instead of everyone getting along, the white people left. That concerns me. That is very concerning. So I've kind of had my like eyes open more, and just kind of like, I'm still gonna stay here, but I mean, that's pretty scary, and it explains quite a bit. But anyways, you know how when there's just it's just the way the world is, and a lot of times I'll be like okay, for example, I was at the hotel working, and it was a housekeeper, and I wasn't getting any of my tips, but I didn't know that hotel housekeepers got tips. Well, there was this meeting, like I hadn't even brought it up. There was one lady came up to me and she was like, "Ooh, look at this," and she's like shaking all her money at me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Oh, you got extra money," and she's like, "Yeah," and she showed me her list and she had all these stayovers. So I just assumed, after I worked there for a while, I would get stayover rooms and I would get tips too. But no, I was cleaning like the king's suites, and uh I was not getting any tips, and supposedly I was supposed to. So, like, I don't know, it was like I'd been working there for a while, like maybe a month, and the manager had this meeting. She's like, "Well, we found out that someone's going around taking tips money. So we're going to have to, kind of keep our eye out and everything." And like, she was giving me rides back and forth to work too, the manager was. Because she's like, "Well, I feel bad for you. You don't have a car." And I don't want anyone to feel bad for me about not having a car, because I don't want a car. I never wanted to drive. I never wanted to sit behind a steering wheel. I had a god-awful fear. And I'll explain now what I know was the reason why I had the fear. But I had this god-awful sickness fear, and I never wanted to drive, and I was made to drive. Like, they literally forced me. I was bawling, crying, "Please, I don't want to drive." "No, you have to drive. You have to drive. Everyone gets their driver's license." Well, find out, no, not everyone drives. And no one has a problem with that. But, like, they did. So, anyways, so she's like, "I feel bad for you. I'll pick you up for work if you don't mind coming in a little bit early." So I'm still have my blinders on from all of this, moving to Dallas, well, Mesquite, Texas, and then the landlord had been married to a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and how my kids were in cheerleading, and I was thinking, wow, what if I make some acquaintances and stuff, and like, I don't know what could happen. I just was trying for my kids to like help them succeed in their future. And so, but none of that worked out, because he was just a really horrible landlord and creepy and just a really bad guy. But so she has this meeting. She's in the car with me. She's like, "Well, we're gonna have a meeting today with all the girls about this, getting the tips stole and everything." And I was like, what can I do? Because I like literally never got my tips. And then she's like, "Well, you're just gonna have to get to your room before the person that's stealing them does." That was her exact words to me. It wasn't long after that I got a different job, but and then after that job, I was still working on, well, I had saved up quite a bit of money from the hotel. But after I saved up money for the hotel, it was just expensive trying to get my food. There was no refrigerators for me to put food in, because the landlord would like dip into my foods. So I just quit buying foods in the refrigerator. And so I got a job at the Waffle House, which was literally right down the road from where I rented. So I would walk to work. But once again, I'm there, and there's only, well, there was 2 white people. There was me and another girl. But then she soon quit after me, so it was just me again, the only white person. And I'm just, you know, It's a little bit odd, but then again, it's not, because I'm realizing now as I'm looking around everywhere, I'm like, I'm surrounded by all black people. I realize this at this point. I walk down the street, it's all black people or Mexican people. I look left and right. I'm kind of glancing in cars. The When I get to work, the restaurant's full of all black people, so I'm like the odd man in or out, whatever that's. I don't like sayings. So I'm the only white person. Well, once again, we have this theft problem. I sometimes didn't get the tips at my table, and then the black people did not approve of me being there because it was about, I don't know, a week into me working, and no one would come into the restaurant to eat. So literally, it was just, I think you'll see it on my Instagram. I did Instagram lives of the Waffle House, and it was just empty for the whole entire time. So that's when I started with care.com, which I've had good luck with that. So I'm sticking with that. I'm not going back into businesses to work. But so it just was really strange. So I don't know if maybe, like, and I don't want to automatically assume anything, but I feel like maybe this area is destined to just be for the black people and the Mexican people. They are still angry with white people because of how they were treated, and they just can't get over it. Like, they even will look at me and I can feel the hate when they stare at me. So I don't even like making eye contact. I used to be this person that was like, oh, make sure you smile at everyone and make sure you say hi. Now I just stay kind of quiet. I don't make eye contact. I really don't try and like do a whole lot of anything except for going to work, coming back, staying to myself. Oh, I've saved up some money too. I really honestly did get some money saved up. It's not that much, but it's a little bit. So I'm proud of myself for that. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of my anger, like, towards everything that's happened is gone. And even though, like, it hurts, and I realize that because of all of my past is the reason why I struggled so much and why I'm not in the best place in life of where I want to be, I don't use it as like an angry thing. You're so nice to me, Kleber. What is your real name? I think I imagine you as probably a teenager. You're a teenager that has got that really likes watching me. So I wanted, hold on, to tell more of my life story, because this is a really, really super, super big deal too. So, have anybody, which if you ask a truck driver if they've heard of Deer Creek, Illinois, all truck drivers will say yes. It doesn't matter. Just go up one day, go up to a truck driver and go, ever heard of Deer Creek, Illinois? And I guarantee you that truck driver will say yes. Good night, Kleber. And thank you for all your nice comments. You're really nice. You could be like putting little mean faces on there and you're not. So thanks. But So let's flash back. We're gonna flash back so we can get a little background on me, because I think I'm determined that I might actually, my future husband might find me on my videos. So, back to Deer Creek, Illinois. So I'm this sick all the time because that's, just what happened. And, sad a lot because, then I want to do stuff and I can't do anything, and I'm in my room all the time, and just really, like, bad stuff that, like, makes you, like, be like, no, like, this is not right. So I get, like, it's like, I think 3rd or 4th grade. I'm in 3rd or 4th grade. And, there's, everybody that I went to school with is newbie. So, about everybody in my class, except for about 2 or 3 kids, was the same, and everybody loved me. And, so the new group comes in. Of course, I'm always struggling to make friends because I'm sick all the time. And, the new people that moved in, of course, typical kids, they're mean all the time, making fun of all the kids that aren't right, don't have fancy clothes and stuff. So, that typical stuff you go through. And, I think it was in 5th or 6th grade, there was a new family that moved in, and the teacher told us, she has a sickness, but you can't catch it. It's not contagious. She's going to be, she has cystic fibrosis, and coughing all the time. And it was so sad. Like, everyone back to their desks away from her, and, my heart never hardened. So, I, like, automatically was feeling like, oh, that's something really bad for her. And, I don't think I had a contagious sickness either. It was just from the months I was in my process. So, being friends, and not really friends, because, like I said, outside of school, it was straight home, straight to my room, grounded, because, I couldn't function. I was so tired and sick all the time. I like, literally could not function. So, I'm the one that can't get good grades or anything, and in my room, grounded, with nothing. And, so, I went, and, I would talk to her every once in a while. Well, when we both got older, of course, I had started babysitting before I, got my driver's license, and I saved up money for, like, probably 4 years. I saved up, like, birthday money people gave me and my babysitting money. And, so when I turned 17, I got a car. Well, there was a group of kids in town that, didn't ever get a car. And so they kind of were like, oh, Melody's got a car, can you take us here? Can you take us there? Well, of course, I never had any friends. So I'm, like, thinking, oh my God, I got somebody to hang out with and somebody to talk to. Well, that ended really badly. I ended up with them burning cigarette holes in my back seat. They had stolen a bunch of clothes from stores, and, one day I go outside to get in my car, and, they had wrote And mind you, I was so sick that I didn't ever get a chance to get a boyfriend. So I was, they wrote slut, whore all over my car. And then my family that adopted me had me drive it all the way to the car wash to get it washed. And it was just really humiliating. They would, make fun of me, laugh at me. It was just devastatingly humiliating. Well, she ended up getting a car and kind of did the same thing to her. Well, she ended up getting sick with her cystic fibrosis, and she was in the hospital a lot, more than me. I would always have to go in and get blood drawn. They would always take me to the doctor. They had to draw my blood. Then, like, every 2 weeks, they'd be drawing my blood, checking me for stuff, sending me back with medicine that I never took, except for the amoxicillin. And then, just back to the doctor again. She had hospital stays for hers. So, it was just kind of like, I don't know, like, it's like we still couldn't wake up that we were being abused. So we were just like I'll never forget it, because she ended up dying when she was 18. She called me up to the hospital, and I remember thinking I was going to see all of her other friends there. The same people, that were having me drive them around and do everything for them because I had the car and they didn't. But no, none of them were there. And I just remember us talking and, like, crying and stuff, and, like, I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, she's like, just stay here with me. I'm so scared. And she ended up dying when she was 18. And, like, I sat there on the day that she died. And, like, I still didn't wake up from realizing that I was with people that was abusing me. Like, I could have ran, started healing myself then, but I didn't. So then we take years after that, even having, a marriage to someone I didn't love, because I just wanted to be married. Like, I was so sick and so, just, you could call it deformity, that I didn't see it. And, everybody else did, but no one else said anything to me. So I'm like wondering, why is everyone talking to other people a certain way, but when they turn and look at me and they talk to me, they don't sound the same way that they're talking to that other person? And just nothing was clicking. I was asking myself these questions, but I wasn't getting any answers. So anyways, I meet some guy later on, after the marriage, after the divorce, that like made me see, like, he was an asshole, and I didn't stay with him, but he made me see what was wrong with me, and that was like such a shock. Like, I remember, like, I've never cried like that before, because I knew that all my life that was my problem. It wasn't me, it was because I was made to be sick. So I don't know, it was like after the jerky guy and me starting to work on healing myself, but I still didn't kind of realize he was a jerk. I was still so used to, like, having everyone treat me mean, that it was just like, oh, okay, like, oh, you said something mean to me, okay, let's brush it off, no big deal. Everyone has their days where they say mean stuff, but he was just really a bad guy. But So he makes me start thinking about my past, because of course now I'm flooded with, oh my god, like I lived with people that didn't even love me. I lived with people that made me sick. So I'm still struggling with it, and I'm thinking, did they hurt my kids? Because I had my kids around them. So I'm still struggling with everything, and I'm trying to explain to my kids why we're not going to visit the family anymore, and I'm trying to explain it to them, and I of course don't do a good job. They're kids, but I'm sitting there talking to them like they're adults, so they're not understanding it. And I decided to go look up some more stuff about the town I lived in. And so I go on, I don't know if you guys remember Topics, that Topix, and I go on there and I was like, I wonder what everyone in the town writes about in that town. Well, I bring up the Deer Creek, or the curse on Deer Creek, or Dead Man's Curse on Deer Creek, Illinois. And I was like, what in the heck? And so I'm reading about it, and I was like, okay, this is so messed up, but it started making sense to me. The same year that this guy, so I read the background story. So in Deer Creek, Illinois, there was a guy, he owned a jewelry shop. And I remember it. I remember the jewelry shop. I remember all the little stores. Deer Creek had like an ice cream store. They had a candy store. They had a jewelry store. They had a little grocery store. And so I'm like, okay, this is so crazy. Because the year that what happened, I read it. I can't remember what his name was. I think it was Thomas Rogers. And he got, something happened with his family. Something horrible. His family did something really horrible to him. And he lost his business because of it. And what the story was, is he went around to everybody's house in Deer Creek, and he asked them for help. Okay, does it sound familiar? Everyone asks for help when they need it. They'll go to strangers to ask for help when they need it. Except for me, I don't. I don't know why, but maybe it has to do with the trauma. But so it was so horribly devastating, and he had so much hate in his heart that he puts this curse on Deer Creek, and terrible things have happened there. And I will never go back. I will never go back to that town. I don't even want to go to the state of Illinois. I'll never live in the state of Illinois. I'll always choose to live far away. But so he just put a lot of horrible things on it, and I honestly believe it's just a lot of hateful people that live in that town now, because my mind can't wrap around the fact that if everyone knew about it except for me. I didn't find out until a couple years ago, whenever I got into reading about stuff because I was reminiscing about my past. I find out about it, and I'm talking to a couple of people about it, and I was like, why did you guys never tell me? Because they used to live there? Well, they never told me because they didn't care about what happened to me. So, anyways, it was curses on young people dying in car accidents, people getting terrible cancers, people getting, having bad marriages, just, I can't even remember all of it. I don't want to remember it. That's why I'm never going back there. I will never go back there. But the town is flourishing now. If you look up the population, it's got almost 1,000 people living in it. So, but I do know that bad things happened to me. Bad things happened to a couple of the people that I knew. And I just won't ever go back. I don't have any, to me, whether it's real or not, I won't go back. But, so I believe that's probably why, like, when your sixth sense kicks in, I can't talk. I have a speech impediment. When your sixth sense comes in and it tells you something like leave or go away or listen to it. I'm always that one that's like, oh, I'm just being paranoid, or oh, I'll have that little, like that little voice in your head that's like, you're just scared of something and it's not a big deal. But no, I'm going to listen to it like every single time. I believe that's why I didn't want to drive. I believe that's why I never liked getting in a car. I believe it's why I was always nervous all the time. I believe it's why no one ever wanted to build any kind of relationship with me there. Why I always felt like someone was watching me when there was no one there. So, I really am glad that I'm not there. But I want to use this as like lesson of don't ignore it. You've been feeling this. Well, I'm not talking to you. I've been feeling this my whole life, and I need to start listening to it and responding to it instead of pushing it away like it's just your nerves, it's just because you're nervous, it's just because you're scared to do anything. It's not any of that. So that's it about my past. So anyways, and then of course the news of how I found out about what's happening in this town, which is really concerning to me. But and I'm not one for any changes. Like, that's not, I change myself. I don't worry about changing anyone else. That'll be one for my cute rich husband if he ever finds me. I won't try and change you. But, so anyways, I did want to talk about that. I've been wanting to talk about it for a while. But then I thought how everyone was like, you can't speak on it, and then I'm like thinking, what if I talk about it and then people come after me? I'm not worried about that stuff anymore. That's a scare tactic. And I thought, as far as I was concerned, being it's America and all, the land of the free, the home of the brave, I thought I'd maybe try it out. I kind of like being free and brave. So that'll be another thing for my cute rich husband if he ever finds me and he wants to put up with me. But other than that, like, work's been going good. I saved up money, and now I'm trying to think of like what things minimal I can buy and still have money saved back. Like, I'm still totally embarrassed that I wear the same clothes over and over. Like, that is really getting to me. And now, because of my clumsiness and I smoke cigarettes, I have made 4 holes in my leggings, which is extremely embarrassing to me. And I just feel like, even though no one's really paying attention probably, I just feel like people are looking at me laughing like, ha ha ha, look at her. She doesn't even have enough money to get new clothes and stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna have to go to Goodwill. I kind of want to go to the dollar store because the Dollar General has the cutest clothes, if they have them on the shelves. Some of them don't, but anyways, and I had another good day at work. I always have good days. I'm so glad I did this. Like, I am never, ever, 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 ever gonna go work for corporate again. Boomerang, boomerang. I feel so happy. I think some people have it and some people don't. Like, some people can really succeed working under corporate. Me? No, ma'am. I cannot. No, sir. I do not. I work well with others, but I get picked on all the time. I get made fun of. My money gets stolen, like losing all my tips. It was just so easy. Look at Melody. She's walking and dancing around all happy. Why don't I just take her tip money? Because what is she going to do? And they're exactly right. What did I do? Nothing. There was nothing I could do but start my own business. Look at me bragging. That looks so mean. I'm going to take that back. Taking it back. So, and then I tried to inspire my kids to do it, but they're not having none of it. They're happy with where they're working right now. And I need to, that's the clothes. I can buy some merch from where they're working, and then I could wear those outfits. Oh my God. So that will be first on my list. I'm going to buy me some merch so I can support my kids. Oh, wait a minute, I'm a little overweight. You know what? We're going to take that back. I'm going to go to Goodwill. Because you cannot be fat and wear merch. You cannot do it. It's like I was going to wear the Hostess shirt. I love Hostess. No. So, I'll go to Goodwill. I love Goodwill anyways. So, but, oh goodness, I've been sitting for so long outside. I would get up and walk around, but it's so cold. I think I'm going to go inside to warm up a little bit. I'm working tomorrow. So, that's going to be fun. And, I hope other people are, like, looking into this care.com thing. If I see, like, some of the YouTube people are, like, struggling like me. Honest to God, this is such a good website. This is such a good website. There's going to be a lot of good things. I don't know. This has been around for years and years and years. And it's only going to get better. And I believe it might even make a slow positive to where maybe we can equal it out. Because there's always, right? There's always going to be bad. And there's always going to be good. I'm the good, not the bad. So I believe that maybe like it will help like start more of a good trend than because how the bad are. They just want to just be bad. I have nothing against it because I'm not going to be a part of it. I don't want to know what goes on. I don't want to be a part of conversations. I don't want to have their stuff. Oh, that was another thing I learned in Missouri. And this was very vital. So there was this guy, and he would not accept a gift. And it was the lady I was taking care of, and she was like, why won't you just accept my gift? And he's like, well, do you really want to know why? And she's like, yes. And he's like, because when someone gives you something, if they put a thought on it, then it could disrupt you because you'll have that item and that thought on it, and it might disrupt like the energy in your home or if it's in your car or if it's in your yard, if it's in your purse, you know, whatever, it disrupts you. I just spit out of my mouth. I'm so sorry. Anyways, so of course, you know me, I'm throwing out stuff. Like, I'm like, oh man, I never like thought of it that way. But anyways, I'm gonna go inside, and I'm just glad I got that out because I wanted it to be like one more little explanation on kind of the reason why I feel the things I do, the reason why I believe the thing. Excuse me, believe the things I believe, and the reason why I want to help and I want to spread goodness and positivity instead of negative, instead of hurt. I'm always going to be that way. And you know that person who wants to run around and be like, and then if you listen and if you actually take in their energy, it will actually make you feel bad. So I'll never be like that. I don't want you guys to ever think that I will ever be any person like that. Would see it in my eyes. Boomerang! Boomerang! Okay. Bye.